that too, those were kids, so they didn't complete, and also I was.
We lost her.
What happened to Satinder? Did we lose her?
I think she got disconnected.
Until she comes, Sachin, how about you? Would you like to share some of your experiences?
Yeah, for me, sales is not a difficult, like it's a easy task because even I have lots of background of sales, like I've worked in call centers, got on field, off field. So I have all lots of experience about sales. So it's not a difficult for me to talk to the people and talk to anyone. Like it's very easy for me. But just the difficulty is like sometimes I'm not able to be consistent more often. Like sometimes feeling like it's enough for me right now. If I get some clients, I will be very happy with that client. Okay, I'm okay with that. Let's do it now later. So I'm comfortable with my clients I'm having. But the problem is the consistency that I want to go for higher like, number of clients. But I get comfortable with a few clients also when I get it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thanks, Sachin. And Satinder, you got disconnected. Would you like to continue what you were saying?
Yeah. So I'm back now. I'm putting all my efforts to get client. I bother everyone, to whomsoever see. I call Sachin, I call everyone because I have to fix myself wherever I'm lacking. So I'm doing that. I feel that it's okay for me to talk to people. It's okay. It's just that I here in coaching how I need to present, how I need to sell my program. It's just that I need to align that, I need to fix that. That's it. I am sure I'll be able to do good. So I feel that about myself.
Super.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Satinder. And quickly, can we hear from Abhishek also? Hi, Abhishek. How have you been doing? How is sales working out for you in the whole world of coaching?
Hey, Lian, and hello to everyone in this group, in this call. Honestly, Lian, I didn't do any discovery session yet. It's been a month now that I've certified, but I'm going to start that very soon. So the entire day today, actually, I spent in, creating a strategy and making out a plan. And that happened after seeing your episode 2 and episode 3, where you talked about how to basically, do sales, what are the strategies, post creation strategies, and then the N codes and E code that comes in between. So in fact, if I could show, what I have gotten, this little chart that I've created, where I have, I know it's barely readable, but it's basically all the points, that I have learned from your video and from your episode. So thanks a ton, Lian, and for continuing this effort. Wholeheartedly, thank you so much. Keep up the good work and keep shining. Thank you.
That's great. There's nothing more satisfying than someone really getting something out of this effort, right? So thank you very much, Abhishek, for putting in your good effort. Quickly, let's hear it from Seerath as well. Seerath, how is sales working out for you?
Okay, it's not working out well, Lian. First of all, yeah, last time when I spoke to you, like I told you, marketing is something that I struggle with, and I think there's some money blocks that I have, could be the reason, because I do a lot of, I want to stop there because it will get kind of into a spiral, because I have rooted it down to that one money block that I have, and I think that could be the reason why I'm really hesitant. And also with all the strategies that you're giving and all the systematic approach that you're providing, I'm so excited about that. But only thing I have a lot of encodes still going on. And I feel like if I put in a schedule, I never stick to it. So I prefer not to put a schedule, because then I get disappointed with myself. So I want to just...
You don't even try, right?
No, it's not that I don't give it a try. It's like when I do it, whenever I do it, I feel proud of myself. So I don't want to give it a time. So that's a bad thing. But yeah, that's how it's working right now. And that's why it's lacking.
Okay, great. So thank you very much, everyone, for your feedback, right? So sales is an area most of us coaches find it difficult, or we struggle at one point or the other, right? Now, when I say sales, now today I'm covering the sales techniques part. So I'm not covering the discovery call. I'm not covering about the lead generations or finding clients, right? I've done a couple of episodes separately on those topics. For those who have not seen it, if you look for LienKay's SuperCoach Academy Facebook group on Facebook, or if you even go to our WhatsApp groups description, all the links are there. You can go there. All the past sessions are there. Last session which we did on personal branding, unfortunately it's not there because due to the power cuts, the session was not recorded properly, but everything else is there, right? So today we are going to talk about the sales techniques. I'm talking about when the client is there, when you are doing the discovery call, at the final point of converting, right? Some tips that is going to help you understand the psychology of sales. Now, I've been a salesman almost 20 years in my life. I started off as a salesman. I ended my career as a salesman, and I like to believe that I can sell a fridge to an Eskimo. But having said that, I have had many rejections. I still get rejections, right? And there are enough and more times where I find it difficult to convert a client as well. So sometimes, no matter how good or confident you are in your sales, right, it's not 100% within your control, right? Because you are trying to convince another person or help another person. And if that sales does not convert, sometimes it's not your fault, right? So let's look at few and Sachin, thank you for subscribing onto the YouTube channel. I just got a notification, right? Sometimes we need to understand the theories behind sales. And let me share a few things that I have learned in my coaching journey, right? There is something called the theory of consumption. Have anyone heard about the theory of consumption? Can I see a raise of hands? Theory of consumption. So the theory of consumption is, for every $1,000 worth coaching that you are planning to sell, your prospect needs to consume 1 hour per every $1,000 that you are planning to charge them. So the consumption theory once again says that your prospects needs to consume 1 hour's worth of your experience, right? Whether it's videos, contents, webinars, challenges, free seminars, whatever you do, they have to consume 1 hour's worth of experience for every $1,000 that you're going to charge. Which means, let's say if you're planning to sell a $3,000 program or a $5,000 program, sometimes someone just ending up in your discovery call is not going to help you if they have not been exposed to 3 hours or 5 hours of your content or your exposure. Now, for an example, think what we are having right now is exposure, right? So if you guys join in 5 episodes, right, of me conducting a session of 1 hour each, that means you have had 5 hours of exposure. That means I have a higher chance of selling a program which is $5,000 for you, provided that you guys have the the financials to go for that program. I have a better chance of converting some of the clients rather than trying to convert a client who have had no experience of you, right? So this exposure can come through different challenges that you do, different webinars that you do, the video content that you do, right? So the whole purpose is they need to see you, they need to experience you, right? Even before your discovery call. So here's the thing. Now we have this tendency of finding people for the discovery calls, but let's say at least from the time of them booking your discovery call until your discovery actually happens, do they have enough material to go through? Do you have videos to send them? Do you have a YouTube channel to send them to, saying, before you come to my session, why don't you check out these couple of videos, for them to get an understanding what kind of a coach you are, right? So this is very important. This is why some people do challenges, right? Now, some people might do a 5-day challenge, 10-day challenge, 20-day challenge. What happens in a challenge? Across number of days, you get them to experience you in smaller time intervals. So 1 hour per day into 20 days, or half an hour per day into 20 days, or 10 days, or 5 days, or 7 days. So without knowing, they're consuming a lot of exposure from you, and by the end of the challenge, they have consumed about 10 hours of experience of you. So you have a higher chance of converting them. So remember this theory of consumption and look at your marketing, look at your content, look at your YouTube channel, look at what you're doing and see whether it is in line, right? And if I'm a coach who's selling programs at $5,000, then I need to make sure my marketing is arranged in such a way where minimum a person gets 5 hours of exposure content before the time that they actually sit with me for a discovery call, right? Then you have a better chance. And especially where uh, webinars and challenges are concerned, that is a great strategy. Why? Because you get clients to experience you in advance. So the second strategy in sales is giving value or giving experience in advance, right? If let's say if I have worked with Sirat, or if I have worked with Sachin, right? Or if I'm planning to work with Sachin, let's say I go to one of Sachin's workshops, right? Sachin does a workshop, and in that workshop, he gives some amazing knowledge, but he does it completely free of charge, right? Then I get to experience it. Then I get at least to get a glimpse of him and be satisfied to understand, hey, Sachin is my kind of a coach, right? Isn't this what we go through when we first went to Arfin's programs, the 5-day program, the 3-day program, right? We got to two things. We completed the law of the theory of consumption because we consumed a lot of time, right? He could have even sell a $10,000 package for us because we've spent a lot of time. And the other thing is he gets us to experience in advance. So we know what kind of a coach he is, what are his capabilities. So when we give the value in advance, we have a better chance of converting that client. So if a client is coming for a discovery call, do you have any means and ways for him to experience you beforehand? To find out that you can give certain kind of coaching, that assurance, find answers for that, right? So when you give value upfront, you have a better chance. So ask this question from me. What is the value you are giving upfront to the market? Now, at one point, I started doing daily TikTok videos, giving ideas. I had a streak those days, right? Now my strategy has been changing. I've been trying different things. So I'm not doing frequent videos, but the time that I've been doing videos, that was my way of giving value upfront to the market. My friends, my people on my Facebook were sending me messages saying, thank you. Why didn't you post today? Every day I'm waiting for your video in the morning. It's very inspirational. So that's the value I used to give. Right? So similarly, you need to look at how you get people to consume you and how you are going to give value. Now, these are some tips that will help you to sell more. Now, where we talk about sales, let's talk about our mindset, because I strongly believe in the saying that is 80% mindset, 20% strategy, right? Now, if you might have the right strategy, but if you don't have the right mindset, you would not be able to sell as a coach, right? And some people think selling is a bad word in coaching. Some people think it's a very like a very cheeky thing that you're doing. You shouldn't be selling. You shouldn't be even talking about selling. That is absolutely true. Absolutely false, right? Sorry. So you need to reprogram your mindset to understand that it is important to sell. Because if you don't sell, no matter how much of a good coach you are, you would not have people signing up. If you want to make a change, you have to sell. But there are ways to sell without selling. And we are going to talk about that. So let's talk about mindset, right? When you get a person into a call, what kind of a mindset do you have, right? What are you thinking? Let's ask Siva, right? Siva K. Kameshwari, yes. So can we hear from you when you get a client for discovery call? And if you haven't got, let's say, if you get a client for a discovery call, right? And you want to convert this person into your first client or your 10th client, what is working in your mind? What do you want to do? What do you want to happen?
Yeah, I want to first thing, like after my learnings and training as a coach in this community. Hi everyone. Before I answer, yeah. So yes, what I have learned is to offer listening in a way that I'm focusing on the client. And for that, I should be in a very good state. So
that's a good answer, right? So she says, when I get on a call, I need to be in a mood, in a state where I'm ready to listen to the client and help the client, right?
yes.
Now, what happens if you log on to the call thinking, I'm going to sell to the client, I need this sale, right? I need to make sure he pays money on the call, right? It's very sales driven, right? Chances are you would not, succeed. Why? Because you start coming out as desperate. So in your best practices, when you log into a call, have this mindset. Have the mindset that you have logged into this call to give them money, not take money. You are going to give them money.
Yeah, more value than what I'm actually would be charging later on.
Exactly.
So I would also seek their permission before I will put the, what action they want to take. So I would definitely do that. Like,
also, right?
Yeah, which I didn't do.
About that also. Go ahead. Sachin, you have a question?
Yeah, I would like to share here when you asked the question about when you go on discovery, what is in your mind. So whenever I go on discovery, I only wanted to create a value. There is no sales in my mind. Or previously I was used to think is when I started my journey as a coach, I was used to think about like asking a money, like it's a big task for me. But now once I know that I have to create a value, that's what I can do my best out of this. And once I know that, I let them discover that where they get stuck in their life. Exactly, the main purpose of discovery is about making them realize that where they are stuck in their life and what they can do about it now. And once they are ready to work with me, then I approach them, the system and everything, that you work with me, I help you. So money becomes the byproduct, but for first the value creation is important, that they know that this person is going to help me out to bring out of this state or this problem. So this is the exit person. You need to just create that. And that is what I learned since now till now. That is what I want to share.
Thank you, Sachin. Thank you very much for that sharing. And that is absolutely true, right? If you log into the call without thinking that I need to make a sale, if your mindset is, I'm going to give this person money, or I'm going to solve a problem for this person, you're going to sound less desperate. And this will completely change your tone and your approach and even how you are handling this person, right? And what I believe is you have to always be ready to walk away from a sale, right? You have to be ready to say, I don't think you are ready to work with me. You need to have that control, not to say, can we please figure out a way to work together, right? You should be the first one to say, I don't think you are that much committed to your goal, so I don't think you are ready to work with me. Maybe when you are ready, let's log in on another call, right? Just imagine the personality, the value, the confidence a coach needs to have to say something like that. And we need to be that coach. We need to be that coach who's not desperate, who's ready to say, I don't think you are the right kind of client for me. And if you are not ready to make that kind of commitment, maybe log in a couple of months after when you are ready, right? I need to log into my next call. Roshan, you have something to share? Yes, go ahead, Roshan.
Hi, Leanne. Hello, everyone. How are you, Leanne?
Good.
Yeah. Leanne,
Go ahead, Roshan.
Yes, you were telling in discovery session just when we log in, like what mindset we have to. I'm yet not that clear, Leanne. Like so you're telling that we have to go with what do you say? We're just giving them value and we're not charging them money. That mindset you're telling us to go.
Okay, let me clarify that, Roshan. Let's say I'm logging into a discovery call with you. I'm a coach, you are logging into the call with me. Now, there can be two things that happen at the end of the call. One is that you would say, yes, I want to pay and subscribe into my coaching program. One is you saying, thank you very much, no, I'm not interested. Or you might say a maybe, which is a polite way of saying no. Right now, if I really want to get your money, if I really want to convert you, sometimes I could be coming in with a mindset saying, I need to somehow convince Roshan to come into my program, spend $1,000 or $2,000 or whatever that amount to pay for my program. Now, if I come with a mindset like that, you are going to hear the desperation in what I say. You are going to hear the desperation in the body language. And I'm going to come out very desperate. What I'm saying is the reality is, as a coach, I am the one who's going to save your life, to give you value, to bring that transformation. So I need to act like that. I need to have that mindset when I log into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Satindra,
so the client has no idea what is going to happen with his life. So if he goes through this session, it is like his life might change total 360 degrees.
Exactly. And you need to bring in that energy, bring in that tone, bring in that type of talk when you're talking. You need to absolutely feel like I am the superhero here and I'm here to save the world. You need to have that mindset, right? Satindra, you have a question?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was just trying to unmute myself. Okay, so I just want to share, what happened with me when few days back I sent a message and I got a response on that, and then there was a client and I divided the discovery in two parts. Wherein first I spoke to him and I told him about what's happening and what's going on, and he discussed that this is the area, the career is not going good, and he lives in a very small place where he's not satisfied because earlier he was working with a multinational company and and then I said, okay, let's do one thing. Let's give a personality assessment, and once you're done with that, I'm going to have a call again with you, and then we'll discuss. And then he did not come for the call, and I thought I wrote just to make that urgency, which we are supposed to do if in case someone is taking it lightly. I said that this free session is only, I can arrange for you only one more time. After that, I won't be able to offer you because this is for limited period. So if in case you attend, it's good. If you don't attend, I won't be able to offer you again. So then he asked me that, how much do you charge otherwise? I said, my intention is not to offer you, not to charge you, but to help you. So I said that, and he came on the call and we discussed, and then he asked for the I told him that this is the struggle, you confused, because he accepted I'm confused and all that about the career, I'm not taking action, and I told him that. And then I said that, see, there are ways by which you can solve your problem, by which you can be action oriented than to just keep on thinking. But it can happen only when you are ready to work on it and see whether you want to work on it. It's completely your decision. Otherwise, what you can do is, you've already got the personality report and you have the very good state. Just keep on reading that and try to be in that, figure out how you can be in that state. So that is the free thing which I can offer you. And then if you want hand holding, then there is another thing. So I did it that way. He didn't sign up, but I don't know, I somehow felt after saying that it was a good way, good strategy, but he didn't sign up. So I don't know, I just want to ask you that, what do you think about it? All of you can give your opinion.
I think personally, sometimes even if you follow the best strategy, there are chances where clients don't sign up. It's not your problem, it's the client's problem. So I have this mindset, whenever a client says no, client doesn't say anything, but it's actually a no, I tell myself, the client actually didn't say no to me. He actually have said no to himself, his transformation. Right? But
so I felt that somewhere I couldn't show him the value that much, that he came out of his comfort level and joined the program. So I didn't blame him. I took the responsibility myself that I didn't show him the value that much.
So obviously, so do you record your discovery calls?
I will start doing that. That day I missed it, so I'm going to do that now.
Sometimes it's good to review them. Sometimes you can give it to your buddy, your coach, and get a feedback as well. Because sometimes when you briefly say like this, we don't know actually how you created value. What did you actually say? Sometimes if you go through the call, there might be areas where for improvement. Right?
Yes, of
maybe
course.
You followed a good strategy, but there could have been areas where you can improve, right? But let's try to figure out different things how you can improve what you are doing. And like I was telling Satinder, when a client says no, don't take it personally, because you have no idea what they are going through. Sometimes you feel like I did a fabulous job, but why did he or she say no? Do you have any idea whether they are going through a divorce, whether their child died a couple of days back, or whether they are losing the job or losing their house, being evicted? We have no idea, right? Sometimes if we knew those things, we would be like, it's okay. So always, when you get a no or a rejection or a silent rejection, if it starts working in your mind saying, did I do wrong, and all these internal chatter voices starts coming up, always tell yourself, I don't know their side of the story. If I know I did good, that's all that matters, right? And something that I do is, sometimes I ask them if they would like to, if I feel like this is not happening, I would say, I can clearly see that you're not ready, but would you like to try out after a couple of months? Maybe everything in your life would be at a different state, things would have changed for you. Do you think in another couple of months would be a right time for you? Sometimes when I ask that, people actually tell, what, to be very honest, I'm building the house and there's a lot of things going, my money is trapped, I really like to do your program, but it's not the right time. But at least it opens the door for me to go back to the same person in 2 months, because I have now taken permission. So when you get a no, or when you get a silent no, you can sometimes do something like that. You can say, I don't think you're ready. Let's be very honest. Maybe there's a lot going in your life, right? But if that's the case, do you think I can check in with you in another 2 months, right? Maybe things would have changed in your life. Is that okay? If they say no, no problem, right? But if they say yes, you can put it in your diary and maybe give them a call at least, or invite them for one of your free programs in another 2 months.
Okay, may I call you?
Right. Abhishek, you have a question?
Yes, Lian. So this point about, where you say to the client that I don't think you are ready,
Yes.
and I need to get to a next call, and you can register when you're ready next time. So I mean, it sounds to me a little harsh, and a little arrogant maybe. Okay, but how to put this politely?
Okay, that's a good question, right? Now let's open it out to the room. Let's say what the coach wants to say is, I don't think you're ready right now. Maybe we can check in about another 2 months. How can we say it in a more polite way? Any feedback? Can I have the contribution? Yes, Satinder, go ahead.
Yeah, we can say, like, as I can see, you're still in a confusion, and then you're talking about your family is like your parents are not well, and I think that's the top priority maybe for you. So if you want to take care of that, and then you want to come for the program, I think that can also be that is also possible.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much, Satinder. Can we have any other feedback from you guys also? What would you say? What would you like to say in a more polite way? Geeta, would you have any feedback? Would you like to say something to that client in a different way? You're on mute.
I would probably say that it seems that you're too bogged down to take the right decision. So maybe you're not ready to take this path to transformation. Let me know whenever you're ready and leave it to that. I also wanted to add one point to Satinder's thing when she's talked about the personality. She's talked about the personality assessment and all. Could she have also talked about the points that, those triggers that brought her down to a below average or a sort of a destructive state? And then leave it there, let the person realize, oh, I am not really in my best state, and therefore I need to fix myself, rather than saying it out, spelling it out. Let the person realize that, oh, I stay in my destructive or my below average state more often, so I definitely need to work on myself. Would that be a good idea?
Geeta, I just want to point out something here. That guy was an investigator, okay? And then as an investigator, he was not accepting, because he was into his below state. He was not accepting that in which state he is. So even I asked him questions, but then again, when I asked him, now what do you think? He said, I think I'm in all the states. So at times, because my husband is also an investigator, so I know at times it's difficult to handle them, and they will not talk something concrete. They will just split
So,
everywhere themselves. Yeah. So I kept quiet. I shut my mouth down. I just addressed what he actually wants to talk about and what he actually wants to know. So I think that's what I did that point of time.
okay. Okay.
Great. Thank you very much for the contribution, guys. That's exactly what I want, right? This is a mastermind. So let's help each other. If you have feedback, let's do that, right? So coming back to the topic, I just wanted to tell you this. Now, when it comes to the point that you want to sell, don't sell, right? Instead, turn your prospect
Do a
into the
need.
salesperson. Now, how do you do that? Now, prospect in the sense, the person who's on the other side, who's being spoken to, right? How can you convert them to a salesperson? The simple ways, get them to talk. Talk less and get them to talk, right? Ask the right questions. Get them to tell why they think they need coaching. So I ask questions like this sometimes, right? I ask questions like, so why do you think you should invest in coaching? Right? And surprisingly, sometimes people who have not thought that they want coaching starts justifying and telling. You know, I ask questions like, so why do you think you are ready for coaching? Oh, why do you think you can achieve certain things through coaching? Right now, these are ideas that I put in their mind sometimes. But
So, Lian, when do you ask? I'm so sorry. When do you ask this question that why do you think you should invest in coaching? Means this can happen only once you tell them, okay, there is something called coaching, and then it's available. So do
the
you
way I
think
do
that you want to
discovery calls
invest
is
in?
very different. The way I do discovery calls is very different. Sometimes I test out things. Sometimes I don't stick to the questions at all. Right? I just get the idea and I try out different things. But usually this question comes towards the end before pricing is even discussed. So we've discussed about the problem, what they want to achieve, how life would look like if they have it. And I always try to get them to imagine if they achieve it, how life would be, and convert that into a value. Like if you do all these changes and if you get this job, how much would you get? Like $1,000 more a month. So that into 12 months. So that means you will get $12,000 a month. You know, I convert that into value. So then I ask him questions like, why do you think you have not been able to get it by yourself? Right? What have you tried to do? And, then I say, we establish the fact that coaching can get him there. And I ask, so why do you think, you should invest in coaching? And once you bring that person into a place in the discussion, they will continue talking about it. Now, I have to also warn you, sometimes it doesn't happen like that, right? Sometimes there could be a very stubborn customer saying, no, I don't think I should invest in coaching. Right? So you should be ready.
They might say, I don't want to invest in coaching.
Right.
I don't want to spend my money.
So before asking that question blandly, you need to establish the fact, do you think that you should achieve these results? And do you believe that from what we have spoken, something like coaching can get you that result? So it's like A equals B, B equals C, so A equals C. So psychologically, you need to get them to that place. So what I tell people is, don't sell, but lead them into the sale without pushing. They should feel like this is a normal conversation that is happening, but they automatically get led to a place where in the conversation, you have sold them the idea that they need coaching. It's not like you have a completely different conversation and at the end saying, you know what, I have something, would you like to buy? By the time that it comes there, they have come a natural course understanding that there is something that I need to invest to get these kind of results, and I really need it. Right? And when it comes to that point, I don't even bring up the pricing topic. I sometimes ask, so now that we have spoken all these things, what do you like to do next? And sometimes they tell me, so Lian, can you tell me about the pricing? Can you tell me about the programs? I try my best not to bring up the pricing unless otherwise customers ask. I have had 2 or 3 clients up to now who did not bring it up at that point. And I chose to end the conversation there. I said, I hope, this time that we spent was useful for you. If you have nothing else to ask me, thank you very much. And I've ended that respectably without telling, you know what, before finishing, I have a program. Would you like to? Because if that person wants by that time, they would ask. But it all depends on how you bring them in that conversation to that place. If you have not done your homework, if you have not really steered them to that place of purchase, sometimes even a good client might not ask that question. So you need to leave clues in your conversation for them to ask. So Lien, while we were talking, you mentioned about this 10-week program or 12-week program. You mentioned about my program is called Success Blueprint, right? So you mentioned about this Success Blueprint thing, which gave these results to these people, because I've told stories up now, right? How does that work? So in my conversation, I leave clues for them to ask that question. So I don't sell to them, I lead them to that question, right? You need to.
So Lien,
yeah.
Generally, what do you do when you're talking about the clue thing? I don't want to lose on this point. So
Yeah.
do you say that, do you tell them with the story that, okay, I had a friend and he went through my Success Blueprint program and he achieved these results, something like this? Can you just tell me?
So my leaving clues is like, okay, think of these fairy tales where you get lost in the jungle, right? And you have breadcrumbs in your hand and you choose to leave a trail of breadcrumbs while you walk through the jungle. Like that, you have to leave clues everywhere. And these clues have to be very subtle. So I would be talking about you. Let's say I would ask things like, so Satinder, what do you want to achieve in life and how has it been working for you and all that? And let's say you tell something something related to career, right? I would be like, you know, what you said just reminded me. I coached one lady from this insurance company. When she came to me, she told me she has not got promoted for the last 10 years. And her main objective was to get promoted. And, you know, by the time we finished our 12-week program, you know, she came to me and said, Lien, you know what, something that I could not achieve for the last 10 years, I achieved it thanks to you. I got a promotion and I was so happy. Have I told you about the price, the program, how much you have to pay? No, but I've left a clue saying that I work with clients and I drive results, and that result may be something that is resonating with them. Sometimes I suddenly slip a word like Success Blueprint, and I say, although you don't know, Success Blueprint is actually one of my flagship programs, and I don't harp too much on it. Right? Likewise, I see you would have heard this from a lot of coaches. Tell stories, right? Stories really sell. And stories are great opportunities for you to leave clues to show them, although this is a free call, I work with a lot of clients and they pay me, right? And I give them results without having to say. And if you say 3 stories and each of these 3 stories have something like a 10-week that we work together, someone is going to think, what is this 10 weeks, right? You can, in the story say, achieve these results in this 10-week, because this 10-week is crafted in such a way by the 5th week you really discover yourself. You're like, right, really? Okay, so there is some kind of a structured process. So you are talking about your program without talking about your program. You need to create enough curiosity to a level where by the time they come to the last point, they'll be like, Satinder, can you so tell me what is this program you were talking about? Now, if that happens, that's your success, right? So why I said don't talk, get them to talk, get them to say what they need instead of you telling what they need is, there is a saying, when you say something, it only means something. But when your prospect says something, it means everything. So if you can get your prospect to say something like, no, I think I really need coaching because of this reason. Boom, you're sold. Right? And that's a great way to, lure them into the final place where they feel like, then it's not a question of you're convincing. It will be like, I want to buy this program. Even if you don't want to sell, even if you don't want me as a customer, client, I want to work with you. Right? Siva, you have a question?
Yeah, this actually reminds me of my discovery session I had with one of the persons I knew long time. So what happened actually, he said he's even before I could conclude, like even before that, he said, I want to do the program. Let me know how much it is. And tomorrow morning, I'm making the payment. Yeah, he came to that situation. And then to my surprise, he did not make the payment the next day. And not even a week later, but he did get back to me. I couldn't make the payment because my grandmother is sick. I'll get back to you again after a week. So I gave him sufficient time. I did not push him and everything because I have a great rapport with him. So I was like constantly in touch with him on and off, but he never came to me. I don't know what happened. So what I get to understand after being here, like learning about discovery sessions, actually the value has not been created. He came, I don't know why he came to the forefront and he said, I'm going to make the payment. But see, if the value was properly created, like how you said, even before that, like they will definitely make the payment. Even if we don't do the follow-ups, our follow-ups will just be a reminder. Yeah,
that is absolutely true.
Thank you.
So when you create value, they feel like, you know, grabbing it, right? And something that I've learned is if you can't accept even a small payment while you're on the call, 80% of the time you have to forget about the sale. Yes, I'm not saying there aren't clients who would keep the call and then within the day who would pay, but I have had more success of taking at least 5,000, 10,000 rupees from the client while they're on the call, you know, because moment they make a payment, their subconscious stops negotiating with them.
True.
You know, when the client says, I will pay tomorrow, you can say, but this price is available only if you make even a 5,000 rupee deposit right now. You know, if you can bring your process to that level, that's real.
However, eventually I made him do the personality report because I wanted to know, like I was very curious. And then he did the report and he came out to be a reformer. Okay. So I know, like a reformer, if sufficient value has not been created, and though I gave him some reminders and everything, he's coming with an excuse that I don't have time for it.
Either you have a question? You're on mute. We will quickly take that question because we have about 10 minutes left. I have one more area to cover.
So Lien, I had one query where there is this mother and aunt who approached me for their daughter and niece. Now this girl has not been a very good state and she's into depression and she's taking medicines for all that stuff. Now the mother and the sister, the two elderly people want to work on her, but she is not too willing. And when I talked about, what all can this coaching do to her, they kept on saying, yeah, exactly, this is what we want. Exactly, this is what we want. But how do I get this girl who's not in a right state of mind, in a below average state, to get into the program? The aunt and the mother do not want me to say or talk to her, directly approach her.
Well, one thing I strongly believe is, Geeta, the person who comes for coaching should want the coaching by themselves.
Right.
A mother or a father wants and they get them into coaching by force.
It won't help. Yeah.
So
that's what I told the mother. If you force it, it'll be like mommy said so and therefore I'm doing it. It'll never come voluntarily. And as it is, she has a lot of grudge against her parents that you forced me into science. I would have done wonders in humanities and things. So I said that would not help. Let her actually come out with her own suggestions and let her get into the personality assessment once, and then we can take it forward. Am I right?
Can I ask you a question? Now, sure. In that story, who's having the bigger problem?
It's actually the mother and the aunt.
So if the mother and the aunt has problems, as a coach, can you help them?
I do not actually see. The aunt has been my colleague and she saw, I put that, one of my mind coach thing as my profile picture, and she saw that and she called me from Singapore. And she says, I want this help for my niece. And therefore her sister called me up and saying, they both feel that the girl needs help.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. Now you have a program, you have a coaching system.
Right.
Do you feel what that coaching program does has something that you can offer the mother or the aunt to solve their problem? Can you get leverage on that and say, you know what, if you do this, you can figure out how to talk to your daughter, how to get your daughter out of this, because you need to first realize what is happening. Can you use that as leverage and convince the mother or the aunt about the program? And you can say, if you want to help your daughter, first you need to look at this, then you would know exactly what to
Okay,
do.
okay. So bring about the transformation yourself, and maybe she sees it and she gets impacted by that.
But here's the thing, you need to use the right leverage. Their
Okay.
love for the daughter and their worry about the daughter.
Yeah,
You need
yeah.
to show the connection, saying how can this program and
Yeah.
you participating in it can give you the result that you want, or make your life easy to achieve that result.
Okay,
If you
got
can
it.
do that, you will have 2 clients.
Yeah.
Maybe not the daughter, but the mother and the aunt.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, okay, guys. So we have about 5-10 minutes left. I want to cover one small part which is very powerful, right? Now, where the sales part is concerned, like I told you, a lot of people don't like the whole sales ideology. A lot of us coaches don't like to sell, right? Tell me, what do people think when they think about salespeople, right? How would a salesperson sound like? You know, what kind of a pitch would they have? Would they have a high pitch or a low pitch, right? Would they talk fast or would they talk slow? Think of a typical salesperson, not a coach, but a typical salesperson. What would they tell, right? And we know how they usually, when you pick up a phone and, you know, some telesales guy calls, how do they call you? Good morning, Roshan, how are you? Right? They are very energetic, very high pitched, right? And even if they shake hands, they will like try to pull your hand away. Like they just show this artificial energy, right? And they are like very talkative, high energy, high pitch. You know, you can see the physical and the non-physical attributes of a salesperson, typical salesperson that we have in your mind, right? So if you want to sell, appear exactly the opposite of that. Because if you appear as one of the salesy people will start creating a barrier even way before you talk about money. So you need to appear as a specialist who's there to help them, not a person who's there to sell. Now let's look at this example. Let's say, okay, Sirat, are you okay to do a role play? Okay, so let's say Sirat and I are doing a role play, right? I'm a doctor. Sirat is coming to get some medicine from me, and she's going to come to me and have, when we are doing the conversation, she's going to say what kind of a problem she is having, right? Okay, so Sirat, start. So I'm the doctor, you come into my cubicle.
Hello, doctor.
Hi, Sirat, how are you? It's so nice to have you here. I'm so glad that you came here. So how can I help you today?
Actually, doctor, I'm in a lot of pain. I have a ligament
pain,
tear.
I have some really nice stuff, you know, and I have this painkiller, which is completely made out of herbal stuff. And if you buy 2, I will give you another one free of charge also. Would you like to buy, Sirat?
I want you to listen to my problem first.
We shouldn't sound like that, right? We shouldn't sound like that. But how does a specialist or a doctor actually sound like? Let's do the role play again, right? Okay, so Sirat comes into my cubicle.
Hello, doctor. How are you today?
Hi, Sirat, I'm doing very good. How are you? And what brings you here today?
A little bit of pain in my leg, doctor. I've been having pain in my right leg because of the ligament tear. The last time medication that you gave is probably not working.
Oh, I see. So for how long has this been there now, Sirat?
It's been on and off, doctor. If I stress myself in the day, if I stand a lot, that's when it appears.
And what have you been trying to do at home to overcome that pain?
The ointment that you gave me, and plus there's a hot compress and stuff like that, but that's not helping me much because of the weather change. Probably it's become winter now, and that's causing a little bit of pain it's swelling in the joints.
Can you explain the nature of the sensation that you're feeling when you're getting the pain?
Yes, I'll have strong pain around the area, but the main foot gets numb.
And whatever the medicine that we have tried before, are you allergic to any medication?
No, I'm not allergic to any medication, but it looks like after the medication effect subsides, the pain comes back.
Okay. So I'm going to write you a prescription for a different type of a drug. After you take it for 3 days, If it doesn't work out well, we are going to take a scan and investigate further, and then I will recommend you a course of action after that. Would that be all right, Cyril?
Yes, doctor. I really want to find out the root cause so that it doesn't appear again and again.
Super. Now, what was different to the first conversation? First time conversation, I didn't let her speak. I spoke. I was high pitched, right? I was energetic. But this time I let her speak. I asked her questions, right? Oops, there's a power cut. Just give me a second. Let me put the light.
Yeah, you suddenly became Mr. India, but now you're in Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka.
Right. So in the second scenario, I was very calm and composed. I was asking questions from her, allowing her to answer, giving her time to answer. And what kind of a opinion or a perception was created in your mind when I was doing that, Cyril?
The first doctor sounded like he was so excited about selling some pharmaceutical products to me, and he's probably marketing himself like really high because he haven't seen a patient in a while, and he looks so desperate. And the second doctor looked genuinely concerned and wanted to solve my issue, so he was directing all the questions in the right way to figure out where the source of the problem could be and help me out in the right way.
So each one of us needs to sound like a specialist or a doctor when we are talking to a client. Just remember, when people look at us as coaches, sometimes they look at us with such great perception, like looking at a lawyer, architect, engineer, or a doctor per se, because we are there to help them, right? And if you don't maintain that perception, that immediately is broken. Right? So appear as a doctor in front of your clients, right? Show that professional image, right? They should feel like they are looking up to you because you are a coach. And that is portrayed from everything that you say, all the questions that you ask, the knowledge that you are showing. And we were talking about investigators at some point. The best way to convert an investigator is to show that you have real good knowledge in whatever you're doing, because they're drawn to knowledge. You need to show that there is stuff to learn from you as a coach. So likewise, different personalities have different things. That's not what we are talking, but you need to show that you are this great coach, that they can learn so much from them, that they can get help and to transform their lives. And you need to maintain that perception. So don't forget about it. My last point for today, right? Can you remember I told you I ask questions, even questions like, why do you think, you should invest in coaching? There was this time where I asked a person this question: why do you think you should invest in coaching, right? Or what do you want to achieve by investing in coaching, rather? Then that person said, I want to achieve a 10 million income. Now, what would you usually do when they say that? Right? I want to achieve a 10 million income. Just think, your conversation goes, you ask about, the Aladdin lamp kind of question, and they tell you what they want to achieve. What is your next step? Can someone tell me what would you do? Yes,
if I may know.
Yeah, Fatima, go ahead.
Okay. Obviously, the money is only the means, not the destination. So you need to ask, how are you going to feel when you get that
Okay, so
money?
one approach is, how are you going to feel when you get it, right? How your lifestyle would be when you get that income. Sirat, you had something to say?
Yes, I wanted to say, what I would ask is like, how exactly do you plan to get that income? So if they have
different approaches, right?
Yeah.
Now, you know what I did? I asked him, so why do you want to achieve a 10 million income? Because in my mind, I was thinking, okay, he's giving me an answer. This is the answer on the surface. There is always layers and layers and layers which clients don't reveal to you at once. And if you get to the pain, you can sell to them, or they will buy if you reveal their pain. So I asked this person, so why do you want to earn 10 million? Then he said, because I want to be financially free. I didn't want to buy that answer. So I asked, so why do you want to be financially free? Right? And this person said, so I can take care of my kids better. Right? I was like, okay, that's good. So you want to be financially free, spend on your kids' education, take care of them. But why is it important? Right? Why is that particular thing important? I'm not saying it's not, but why is it so important for you to take care of your kids? Why is that your compelling reason? You know, what he said was amazing, because he said, because I don't want to be considered as a bad father. If I don't take care of my kids at that level, I feel like one day they would think I'm a bad father. I was like, okay. Then once again, I asked, so why do you feel that they would think of you as a bad father? You know, what he told me blew my mind off, because he said, my father could not take care of me financially. And in my mind, as much as I love him, there is a grudge, there is a resentment towards him. And I don't want to be that father. Now, can you see the conversation? By the time it led to that, it came to a point where there was tears in this person's eye, because he started feeling the pain. And at that time, if I tell him, as a coach, I can get you to that 10 million, what would be his response? Right? So always dig deeper. Don't settle in for the answer that your clients give. Ask why, ask what else, right? We need to, cut through those layers like a hot knife through butter, right? Until we get to the place where we tap into a person's emotions. But if you actually start tapping into their emotions, right? Don't settle in when people say, I want a nice house, I want a nice car, I want to study abroad and all that. Always try to get into the deep-seated emotions that those goals are created upon. And when they get emotional, when they tap into their pain, it's easy for you to create a connection, because when you tap into their pain, if you even tell a story that resonates with that, that's going to resonate 1,000 times better than that. What if, at that time, if I say to him, I completely understand what you're saying, because I grew up in poverty as well. And sometimes I've asked myself, why couldn't my father settle in for a stable job? Why did he always do business? Because we suffered a lot as children as well. So I completely understand what you're saying. Boom. Right? Just imagine the resonance that you have with that person at an emotional level. You tell a very emotional story of, one of my clients went through something like this, and one of his biggest fears were not being a bad father or a mother to his children. So I completely understand what you're saying. But the transformation she had at the end of that 10 weeks really assured her getting that financial freedom, because she now then started, seeing things clearly and started building her empire. Can you see where the connection is made? So you have two options. Either you make connections at the surface, either you make connections deep, deep, deep inside where emotions are concerned. Right? So with that, guys, we are 10 minutes overboard. I'm done for today.
Thank you so much.
Right? Before ending, I want each one of you to tell one significant thing, impactful thing that you learned from today that you think you can, start using. Starting from, let's say, right on top of my screen is Geeta.
Right away?
If you're not ready, we can come back to you.
No, I think I should be, because see what the most important thing that you talked about was not to show that you are desperate, pass on the desperation to the other person, make him feel that it is he who should be desperate to get this, and I am there to help you out. So, you turn the table on him so that he starts feeling the urgency rather than you start thinking that, oh, I need a client. So that is one thing. And then I think you talked about not selling when you sell a program. So that's a very, very important thing. And, cutting the butter with a hot knife is again a very thing, because emotionally, when you connect with a person, immediately there is a sync. And therefore, there's a possibility of that person is going to resonate with your thoughts. And 99% I feel he would agree to buy it, because he feels that, you understand him, you understand the real him. So that makes a difference. So that's what I like the session very much. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you.
What about Siva?
What I really loved is the ending. What you said, like peel the layers. and connect deep within. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Fatima Raymond.
Yes. I love when you became a doctor from a sales doctor, you became a genuine doctor. And I realized that you just need to be genuinely caring and loving and in your own way to help the person. And automatically they'll get attracted to that and they'll want more of you. So I feel that's a very good point. Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you. Hi, Dr. Anum. You've been silent today. What about you?
What I have learned today is, I think it's very powerful. The thing that I learned today is don't sell, but lead them to selling. That's the thing that I think I was looking for the last few weeks. I was keep on thinking that I have to sell my programs and my courses to the people, to the professionals. But right now, after getting this session, I got so many clarities. And one of the things that you have shared, that there are some attributes of how you present yourself towards your clients, like your voice, your gestures, they all attract clients. So this is the best thing that I have learned today.
Super. Great. Thank you, Dr. Anum. Seerat, what about you?
Lian, I just love the role play because I think I hold doctors in high regard, first of all. And second, to emulate a doctor and be a professional to that level would be my dream come true, because if there was another option to become a doctor like this would be great. On psychological level, I feel upgraded like that. And what I like most about what you said is that the trailing, you said keep a trail so that they come back to you. So that way it doesn't feel like you're kind of, sometimes there's a thing that you find the pain and you want to make money out of their situation. That gives a very kind of, it looks like you're manipulating their situation and you're trying to make money out of their difficulty. And, it gives all wrong kind of notions. So when you feel like, here I am, this is where you can find me, I'm available, and just leave a trail that leaves a positive response and creates an impact which leaves for them something to think about. Even if they don't sign up immediately, they say, okay, I have somebody to go back to in case I feel like I need this help. So that at least that rapport building will stay with them. So they don't they forget you is not the case. They will remember you after that. That's the impact. Yeah.
Super. Thank you very much, Seerat. Naureen, you have been quiet.
Yeah, I just actually joined a few minutes back, and I think you were on your climax when this was going on. I really enjoyed today's session because I thought I'm like recording videos, so I feel that we are all excited and we are all enthusiastic when we are coaching and recording videos with our clients, like supposed buddies. But you know what, you just mentioned about like you shouldn't be selling, but you should be like more of not selling. So that is something that really resonates because in our excitement we forget to actually connect at a level which you have mentioned, like you can either connect superficially or you can connect into deep levels, emotional level. So just connecting, I think, is the best thing in coaching. And this is something that I have learned right now, that like there's a level of motivation as well. You can't just be so excited and you have to actually not sell, like you just mentioned. It's like really great to understand that becoming a real doctor or becoming a real coach is something to just be back, relaxed, and understanding the person and the emotion and connecting at an emotional level. So it was bravo for me, this session.
Super.
Thank you.
Thank you, Naureen. Roshan, what about you? What did you learn today?
Yeah, I liked the theory of consumption, which you said that we have to have enough of knowledge, matlab, that the client goes through, before even coming to discovery, he has to experience our product. And I liked, yeah, we have to be very sophisticated, I guess, very professional.
That's
Yeah, very professional. And the best part is I liked was, when, see, I haven't done any discovery session yet, and I'm yet stuck in my third week. And I don't know, I'm not moving. It's like it's not happening like coaching. It's like it's become a burden. I have so much of things become a pressure. It's literally I'm not having any breakthrough only in my I'm like, there's so many things happening in life. The real part, the best part I liked what you said, to dig deeper in the discovery. Don't, when the clients ask you a question, hey, children, that, yeah, I want 10 million. Now the coach will get, okay, 10 million. Yes, yes, you can achieve 10 million.
Exactly.
They come up with that answer. But yeah, they are like, okay, fine. Because, yes, everything is achievable in this. So, but you said, yeah, why you want to get 10 million? Then he said 1 month, so get deeper, but like, dig out more. That was very, very important, and yeah, that I'll use that later on. But Lian, I'm stuck, Lian. How do I come out? I'm not moving from week 2. I'm yet stuck in 2 videos. I have to go to week 3. I don't know what's happening.
So your friends are, your buddies are busy. Is that the problem? What's the problem?
But I'm busy. Actually, when I've joined from then also, I have not got good buddies. Now I have got 2 buddies for recording now from next week. It's like,
so from next week onwards, you don't have any excuses now. Set up time and somehow do it. And if you still can't, give me a call. I will give you some tips.
Yes, surely. And thank you so much for the wonderful session. You rock. Really a super nice super coach. Really.
Thank you, Roshan. Abhishek, what about you? Abhishek has been silently, patiently waiting.
Yeah, and I wouldn't miss this for the world to give my feedback, because I know as an individualist how much it means to be connected to your audience, to your clients. So yeah, so I mean, all the points were fantastic, but the one which just completely sold me was the last point of connecting with the client, not just at a superficial level or just as a client and a professional level, as a specialist level, but at the emotional level. Because once you touch that string, it not only you're going to impact their life in a completely different manner, but also rest assured that you're going to get that credibility, and you're going to get that mouth of word to their friends, to their families. So brilliant. I mean, as always, Lian, brilliant, and thank you so much for these sessions. Thank you. Kudos to
Superb.
you.
Thank you guys, everyone, for coming. I'm not going to trouble Satinder, Sachin, Kalpana, Bhatt and Nutan because they have their camera switched off. But if anyone wants to give any final words before we wrap up for today, now is the time.
Yeah, hi Lian, thank you. I'm so sorry. I was eating my breakfast,
no problem. Not at all.
I switched off my camera. I learned few good things today, wherein I'm like so happy to learn this thing, that dig deep, the layers which you talked about. So I think I'm going to implement that. I have this breakthrough that I lose on that, like someone say I procrastinate and then I just keep on moving to next and next and next, but I need to keep on asking what, why, before moving to any other thing. So this is a big learning for me. I really, though I bothered you a lot in between, so I learned that thing, that how to give clues. So I think I'm going to experiment that with my next discoveries, which are going to happen tomorrow. So I will try that giving clues. And don't sell. So I think I'm going to try this as well, that I will see that whether I can create that environment or not, that wherein someone is saying that, okay, tell me about your program and I want to buy it. Yeah, so I will try that as well. So it was great learning, and thank you so much.
Super. Thank you very much, guys. Once again, it has been a real pleasure. So this video will go up on my YouTube channel and the Facebook group. So share the links with your buddies, your other coaches, invite other buddies and other coaches to join the community as well, so we can learn and grow as a group, right? And at any time, if you guys want any help, on a personal level, feel free to reach out to me. I'm there to help you to the best of my ability. And let's keep on growing this community of super coaches.
Thank you, Lian. Always
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you, guys.